What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So yesterday, Kakko was traded from the New York Rangers to the Seattle Kraken. And if you want my more in-depth thoughts on that, go check out the TikTok or the YouTube short, as well as the TikTok, as well as the Instagram trade grades that I gave out for that trade. At the end of the day, Kakko is just like an okay 40-ish point, two-way middle sixer at this point. He's only really talked about because he's second overall and because the Rangers are in free fall. It's an okay deal, and obviously long-term Kakko bust for the New York Rangers, but the isolated deal, it is what it is. Seattle Kraken, you might as well take a shot on a guy like him. But it got me thinking about how in the summer of 2019, the New York Rangers had arguably the best, or without a doubt, a top 3 prospect pool in the entire NHL, considering they had 2 first-round picks in 2017, 3 in 2018, and then got that second overall selection. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to go through the summer of 2019 farm system prospect pool rankings and see how these prospect pools panned out. Did their players pan out? Are they now contenders? Obviously, not every prospect pool works out. Not every rebuild. I'm sure Buffalo might be decently high on this. We're going to go through it. Now, I'm not saying that like I knew that if a team had a busting prospect pool that I knew that. I get prospect pools all the time wrong, and prospects are all wrong. I'm not trying to sound better than. I just want to see back in 2019 what the landscape of the NHL, or remind myself what the landscape was in terms of the young talent in the NHL. So this comes to us from the Sporting News, and they're going to break it down. They got their criteria: point production in other leagues, age, obviously younger player that's producing more or the same rate than a guy that's 2 years older is more impressive. NHL games, appearing in 25 games or less. That's actually like the exact criteria that I use, called their eligibility. NHL readiness and experience. Draft ranking, I guess for the 2019 guys, that makes sense. But let's get into it. Is New York about to be number 1? They are number 1. And yeah, you might think, you forget that Adam Fox and Shesterkin were still prospects at this time. So those two guys obviously hit massively. I think they have like the top 10, hopefully. Okay, yeah, they got it here. Kakko, Kravtsov as your 1 and 2, but clearly their number 3 and number 5 were their best prospects at the time. Where's Filipino? Filipino's not in the top 10. Maybe he debuted at this point. Maybe that's why. But yeah, Kakko, very, very underwhelming second overall pick. Kravtsov, was he 9th overall in 2018? Barely played like 66 games in the NHL. But Adam Fox hit. Shesterkin, massive hit. Keandre Miller, this season's a little bit concerning, but still, what did they get him at? Like 2nd or 22nd or something like that? It's still a solid pick. Nils Lundqvist, they ended up somehow getting a first-round pick for him. Libor Hajek was one of the most hated Rangers of recent memory. He was not liked by New York Ranger fans. These 3 bottom guys never really turned into anything. The LA Kings at number 2. Yeah, after picking up Alex Turcotte, they had a very, very bright future, and then especially once they got Byfield. This is a graveyard, though. This is a goddamn graveyard. New York, you had 2 superstars. So even though their top 2 prospects didn't work out, they got 2 superstars. Velarde at number 8 is the only, and Mikey Anderson has been very good as well. But yeah, geez. My God, they're just lucky that Kopitar and Doughty haven't really aged. Kopitar's playing some of the best hockey of his career right now, so they were kind of bailed out. But their rebuild, New York is making them look good right now, considering basically most of their prospects busted for the most part. Colorado Avalanche, I assume, even though Cale Makar played in the 2019 playoffs, if they're this high, surely he counts. Yeah, Cale Makar, Bowen Byram, not the end of the world in terms of a prospect. At 4th overall, a little bit underwhelming, but they won a Stanley Cup with him, so they're not regretting that pick. Alex Newhook hasn't really taken that next step in Montreal, but still a solid player. Kovalenko, number 7. He was a prospect for 5 goddamn years, or even longer. 6 goddamn years until he debuted this season. Outside of that, not a lot of success. Shane Bowers, I think, was he in the Duchesne trade? I think he ended up in Ottawa. I could be wrong. Speaking of Ottawa at number 4. And this is, Brady Tkachuk doesn't count in this, I believe. Eric Brancham. Dude, Eric Brancham is supposed to be the fucking truth, man. My New York Islanders traded the pick that became Eric Brancham to dump Mikhail Grabovski. Yeah, I think it was Grabovski, not Kuhlman. But yeah, he didn't really turn into anything at the time. Islanders fans were dreading this guy turning into a superstar. But number 2, Drake Batherson, stud, amazing this season. Josh Norris playing very good this season, but was looking like a future star second-line center until obviously he had his shoulder problems. Joey Daccord, number 7. It's a damn shame that they ended up scooping him in the expansion draft. JBD is actually playing pretty solid this year. Lassie Thompson didn't really turn into much. Was on waivers last year. Montreal, so Cole Caulfield and I think Suzuki, was still a prospect at this time. So they at least hit on 2. Let's see who else. Romanov, pretty solid for a second-round pick. Very solid for a second-round pick. Primo. But yeah, Caulfield, Suzuki, bang, bang. It's just the rest of their kind of semi-rebuild didn't really work out in these years. And they still were an okay team here. Carolina Hurricanes. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, Svechnikov doesn't count. So who else did they have at this time? Natchez, okay, that makes sense. 2017. Jake Bean was a highly regarded prospect. I remember him. Eetu Luostarinen didn't really work out in Carolina, but now playing very solid in Florida. Ryan Suzuki, not quite. Yeah, this is not that good of a prospect pool. Jeez. Obviously, they made up for it in like 2020 with Nikishin and Jarvis, and now they have a sick young core, and they keep on drafting so good with guys like Bradley Nadeau and Nikita Artemanov. But this one did not quite work out. New Jersey Devils, Jack Hughes, and then who else did they have? 2017, who did they take? I forget for a second. Okay, Boquist, no. Ty Smith, I thought that he was going to be really good. No. Damn, this is also a brutal Pentagon. Obviously, Jack Hughes, superstar. That's all that matters. They didn't get a single other NHL player out of this. That's what I'm talking about, man. You never know with prospect pools. Vancouver Canucks. Now, this is a damn good prospect pool with Quinn Hughes and Thatcher Demko. Outside of that, though, not much. Nils Hoglander has definitely outperformed his draft position. But yeah, you got a sick 1 and 2. Podkolzin finding some game in Edmonton, but not worth the 10th overall pick. Olli Juolevi, even at this time, was not rated. He was shooting down, and he obviously is one of the biggest busts of recent memory. Philadelphia Flyers, solid. This is pretty solid. Joe, no stars, but Farabee, NHLer, although he's having a down season. Morgan Frost, low-end second-line center. Cam York, I'm still decently high on. Bobby Brink, NHLer. Sam Urson. Felipe Myers had decent years. That's half decent. Again, no stars, but that's okay. Detroit, this was at the start of the rebuild, and yeah, not a ton of panning out. Basically, none of them panned out outside of Mort Seider. Joe Veleno's an okay player, but Zadino is highly regarded, and yeah, nothing burger. Playing over in Czechia right now, I think. Anaheim Ducks. Let's see this. Trevor Zegras. He was like a top. I mean, he went 9th overall, 8th or 9th overall, but he was looked at as like a top 5 prospect, arguably. Wait, why did I just skip through this? Nothing for the most part. Lucas Dostal, 8th. Did I say that one worked out? Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, this was after they stockpiled a bunch of prospects. They murdered the 2017 expansion draft, which Seattle didn't really do. But none of these guys really worked out outside of Dorofeyev. None of them are still with the Vegas Golden Knights. Or maybe Nicholas Hage is, I think. Maybe. Florida Panthers. Let's see who they got. Spencer Knight. Hopefully he can get back on track, but after having the NHL Player Assistance Program for OCD, has not looked like himself back in like 2020, 2021. Owen Tippett, though, oh my God, I forgot for a second that he was a Florida Panthers prospect. He got traded in the Claude Giroux deal, which was an amazing deal for them. Dude, so many prospects. It's not that surprising, but like so many guys just don't pan out. Edmonton Oilers, Evan Bouchard hit. Philip Broberg looking like maybe a hit now. Still probably not worth, 8th overall, but he's looking like an NHLer. Caleb Jones has played NHL games. Raphael Lavoie was put on waivers like 5 times this offseason. He's an AHLer at this point. Chicago Blackhawks, Adam Boquist, Kirby Dach. Not that good. That's why they had to do another rebuild. They did like 2018, 2019. Then they somehow made the playoffs during the COVID year because they upsetted the Edmonton Oilers. And they're like, screw it. We got to rebuild again. We got to tear this shit down. Alex Nylander did not work out. He was a Buffalo pick initially, though. Winnipeg Jets. They probably have some guys that panned out. Never mind. Jonathan Kovacevic playing good this season. Not for the Winnipeg Jets. Logan Stanley, 6'7" monster that stinks. My New York Islanders. I'm trying to think who would be our Wallstrom and Dobson were still prospects. So that's, yeah. Sorokin, Sebastian Aho, the other Sebastian Aho. Yeah, we hit on 2. We hit on our top 2. Number 3 was an egregious bust, but we hit on our top 2. And Simon Holmstrom is an okay bottom 6er at this point. Tampa Bay Lightning. Nick Perbix has turned into something. Ross Colton at number 10. Damn. He really turned into something. He really exceeded expectations. Buffalo Sabres. Dylan Cousins, number 1, looked like one of the best contracts in the NHL when he signed his 7x7.1. Now kind of looks like a disaster. UPL, yes, very good. Samuelson, similarly to Cousins, got that mega deal and hasn't really lived up to it. Ryan Johnson was from the Ryan O'Reilly trade. It didn't work out. St. Louis Blues, this should be a decent prospect pool, right? Oh, I guess Robert Thomas debuted in the 2019 season, but Jordan Kyrou, very good. Perunovic has been okay. He's got some NHL games. And then Joel Hofer, far exceeded expectations. Toronto, Rasmus Sandin. Didn't really reach his potential with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but solid player. Same with Liljegren, ended up getting traded. Wool, very good. Nick Robertson, TBD. Played good last night against the Stars, I think. The Arizona Coyotes, now the Utah Hockey Club. Barrett Hayden, NHLer, but he's kind of just been propped up because he plays with Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller. Aiden Hill, number 5. What a throwback. Forgot that he started out in Arizona. The Calgary Flames, Dylan Dubé. Ooh, he was in the 2017 World Junior scandal, out of the NHL now. Valimaki, I thought was going to turn into something once he got traded to Arizona. He had one good season, but just has not been able to find a consistent role. Matthew Phillips, AHL legend, torches the AHL every year. Kirill Kaprizov, Minnesota. This might be, just from this one too, this might be the best prospect. The fact that this was 24th. And of course, we didn't know Kirill Kaprizov was going to be this good. But goddamn, 1-2, and then you just see literally nothing. Jack McBain actually turned into an NHLer. But still, you need it's quality over quantity with prospect pools. Give me 2 A prospects over 8 to 9 B plus guys, if you know what I'm saying. That's what I look at for in prospect pools. Nashville, yeah, this is sad. Tolvanen, first round pick, no longer with the team. Fabro, no longer with the team. Tomasino, no longer with the team. They don't have a single all of their first round picks from 2010 to 2020 are off the team. It's insane. But I mean, it honestly wasn't. I mean, they got NHL players here, but no stars, obviously. Boston Bruins, Urho Vankanainen. Nothing Burger recently traded in the Jacob Trouba deal. Studnicka is supposed to be something, didn't pan out. Trent Frederick definitely exceeded. Outside of that, pretty goddamn bad. Columbus is all day at 27. I guess they went pretty aggressive at the 2019 deadline, and they ended up beating Tampa Bay Lightning. But still, Merzlikins, well done. Marchenko, Gavrikov, that's a pretty decent prospect. Paul Stenlund has become an NHLer. Washington's might be pretty damn good. Yeah. Samsonov had some decent years. Connor McMichael's stud now. Faravari, underrated left-handed defenseman, physical beast. Vanacek is an NHL goalie, backup that is, but for this to be the 28th in the entire NHL, pretty decent. 29, we got Dallas. Yeah, this is a pretty damn good. Just from Jason Robertson, Thomas Harley, Jake Ottinger. I have no clue who Gavin Bayruth is. I guess he was maybe a college free agent, I guess. But yeah, Jake Ottinger, even Ty Dellandry had an NHL stint. This probably should be like top 10 in a re prospect pool draft. San Jose Sharks did 30. Yeah, we forget. They had to flip the switch and immediately enter a rebuild. They were from all in with their old guys to fuck it, we're just blowing this shit up. And they had to blow it up because basically none of these guys panned out outside of Mario Ferraro. 31, the Pittsburgh Penguins, they've been bottom 5 in prospect pools basically since 2016 probably. Who did they even have? Kalen Addison I thought was going to be a decent offensive defenseman for a while. Damn shame. But yeah, this sucks. And that's it. Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot we only had 31 teams back in the NHL back then. But let me know in the comments, which one of these prospect pools surprised you? Which ones far exceeded expectations? Which ones shat the bed? As much as I want to say the Rangers shouldn't have been number 1, they did get probably a Hall of Fame defenseman and Hall of Fame goaltender out of that prospect pool. But still, let me know in the comments. What do you think about this? Do you want me to see what it looked like 10 years ago, back in 2014? And I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.